So what did you think about the Game Awards? Because you sent me this idea that we could have this conversation, and I messaged you last night and said this thing is 3.5 hours long. What were your thoughts?
Well, see, that's the first thing is that you were the one that was like, so what are the ideas with it? What are people saying? And that's actually the first thing people are talking about, which is it's way too damn long.
Yeah.
That's number one. Because I think there was some poll or like maybe an article I read yesterday or today even that was like only 20 to 25% of the actual show was awards.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was game announcements, which I think people don't have a problem with. But then you have Miss Piggy. And I think that's where people kind of fall off on the whole show is there's too much fluff with it.
Well, so I don't know. Um I like the showing the new game trailers. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like for me, okay, going back to your original thought of like it being 3.5 hours long, that's like how long is the Oscars? You know, like if
I don't know, but that's very fair because he wants it to make it the Oscars of video games. That's the goal he has.
but like who I'm not saying people don't care, but like who cares about that, you know? Like we care about video games because we want to play them, we want to love them, and then we want to see the games we like get recognized. You know, like
Yeah.
we want affirmation that this game that I loved gets recognition in front of everyone. I don't care about the Oscars though. You know, like that there are some film snobs that do, but like I don't want it to be the Oscars. I don't know, that's my opinion.
Yeah, because what Jeff Keighley does, I get the idea because it's two things. One, you get to showcase a lot of indie games. You get to showcase a lot of games that probably wouldn't normally get a good spotlight. Like you have your Diablos, which was a fantastic
Yeah.
showing. Like having Mephisto on there and like slam the stage and like that reverberates. That was
Sure.
fantastic. I never played Control, but I kind of like the artsy dude in the box or whatever that was on stage. That was awesome. But you're right. I don't really care too much about that, but like the game reveals are good. I guess if I'm him, I'm trying to make a production value label at the Oscars because that way you get production value money, right?
Mhm.
You get people to buy into the show, and that gives you the opportunity to host more things.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think you can do that while not. I don't mean to rag on Miss Piggy here because I actually thought like the piano piece was funny. It's just can we like get to the point a little bit? I feel like you can have a world where there is Miss Piggy there, and you can have a show that's not 3.5 hours long. You
Yeah.
know, I
So,
just yeah,
okay, the Miss Piggy thing is like it's like kind of like the Oscar. It's stupid because it's Miss Piggy. It's not like Miss Piggy or the Muppets come out in the Oscars, but that's where it's like very performative and
mm,
like 3.5 hours, and I have to watch Miss Piggy, and like I don't know how long was her total thing, like 6 minutes or something. Uh,
it felt longer.
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest,
but
like
still it's like okay, I get it, and like there's some people who love the Muppets, but like what is this is like video games, you know, that's what
yeah.
we're trying to do. I don't know, I think it's I'm probably on the side of like why am I watching this crazy presentation, and it also starts to feel, I don't know, like it starts to feel condescending at one point, like where people are like there's this big presentation and it's like, do you know us as gamers, you know, like do you get
Yeah,
us? That's my thought.
like Jeff has been around for so long, right? Like I remember him back in the early 2000s doing stuff like this, awards, like back in E3. Um, I just I do, but now it feels like that. No matter how long he's been in there, it does come off that way. And not to just, crap on the TGAs, like there was great parts. Like the orchestra pieces were fantastic. Everyone, so did you see the flute guy? He had all the instruments on him that was
Yeah.
like these huge like contorted pipes and things. Like people love that. And that's the pieces that are really good
Sure.
because that's literally reading the audience, telling you like that's funny and we like that.
Yeah.
Because he was like from a few of these at this point. that's when it's really good, and that's when he nails it and he gets it. But I agree, he kind of has gotten lost in the sauce a little bit,
Yeah.
where the production is taken away from what the core of it is. Where I just want to know who won Best Indie. You know what
Right.
I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That's bottom line.
Yeah.
I want to see like I guess we can kind of go into like the announcements a little bit too, where like my favorite part of everything in this was the announcements for the games.
Yeah.
Because when going into specifically this one, you know this was TGA 25 E33.
Hmm.
Like Expedition 33, you knew was
Right.
going to just sweep every category. And I knowing that, I was like, okay, so I'm just here for them going up 100 times on stage and seeing what new games are on. So that being said, like when it starts off with a new Old Republic game,
Hmm.
I'm in. I'm like, oh wow, and everyone was talking about like, oh, that's not a Star Wars game. You're crazy. I'm like, that's literally the robot. Like the I forgot, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting the name of it. Like the new robot design they had since like Rogue One. You
Yeah.
know, and I was like, that's literally that robot. That is literally a space Shaolin monk walking across the dark. Like I had 6 people in my Discord call watching it, and I was like, you guys are crazy. And then lo and behold, I'm like, yep. But
So
I didn't think it was an Old Republic. That was awesome.
was that one the one that kind of did it for you, or was there another game that you were really excited about?
Oh, well, if anyone knows us, well, they're about to, because here at FF Media, we are all about Resident Evil. Um,
We're Resident Evil
I,
shills.
oh my God, give me the deluxe extra packs, baby. I want those upgraded options. Resident Evil is my favorite horror franchise as a video game, for
Me
sure.
too. Yeah.
Um, and I think we kind of there. So, did you keep up with any of like the supposed leaks or like things that were happening with RE9?
I just heard back and forth that like Leon will or won't be in it, open world.
Yeah.
It was all about Leon though. So, yeah, obviously the Leon announcement or in the video was pretty hype.
Okay. Now, there was one thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm trying to find it, and I couldn't before. So on Reddit, it was after the announcement. If you take the RE9 Requiem, sorry, I want to check this. Uh, like you take the logo, if you do the one where it's like upside down with Leon, where it showed like in this showcase,
Okay.
you take Requiem specifically, you flip the last four, it looks like Leon because the Q and everything, it's like a weird O shape, and everyone's like, "Oh, they planned this all along with Requiem." You got to find the weird looking Requiem name, not like the normal one.
Okay, send it to me
Oh,
cuz
yeah, here.
I don't know what you're talking about if I'm being honest.
No, you're good. Hang on.
Is it just the RE9?
Yeah, yeah, here. I'll show you. Can I? Here, I'll even show my screen here.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah.
on.
Cuz I don't.
Okay, look at this real quick. So you see this, right?
With the big one on the right?
Yeah, well, you look on the left. So starting from the R and you flip it upside down, it looks
Oh,
like Leon. That's what people are doing. So when you look at
that's
the
stupid.
actual, I know, but if you look at like the trailer with Leon when he's announced, that looks more like what they're trying to say.
No.
That's the whole shtick. That's the whole bit. So anyway,
Sorry, that one is debunk. No.
yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, that was just really cool. I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But Leon, it was pretty obvious he was going to be in it because Capcom likes to do this thing all the time. Where like, no, we're going to gaslight you. You're wrong. You're crazy. Leon doesn't exist in Resident Evil games. Chris doesn't exist. You're not
Right,
going to
right,
see
right.
them again. And you know they're going to bring back somebody. And Leon was. I'm surprised they did Leon. Just because I figured they would kind of carry over with Chris more so because they were kind of bringing him back with the BSAA
Yeah.
being bad. Which not to make this all about Resident Evil, but like, are we ever gonna get that finish of like the BSAA using bioweapons? Like,
Okay.
are we ever gonna go back to
I
that?
was also going to say not to make this all about Resident Evil, but okay, hear me out and tell me if you feel the same way. I'm
Sure.
slightly worried that Resident Evil 9 is going to have a split focus. Because who do you play as? Well, who's the girl from the original trailers? Ashley is? No, not Ashley. Ashcroft. Something Ashcroft.
Yeah, Ashcroft. Yep.
So I don't know her first name, but it seems like she's who you play as. But then
Yes,
Leon
she
shows
is.
up. Obviously, I want to play as Leon. So is
Yeah,
this going to be one of those games where you play as two characters? And
it is.
I don't know if I like that. They can pull it off, but I kind of hate when games do that. I like despise it. When they did it with Resident Evil 6, where it's like six characters, it sucked. When they did it The Last of Us 2, it sucked. And a lot of people hate it. I know it won Game of the Year awards, but it was sucked playing as two characters. And I hope they do it right.
So the what I was looking up was the director quote because I wanted to make sure it was right. It's Grace is her name.
Grace,
To
okay.
answer your question. So what he has said is it is confirmed because he did an interview after this, or he probably did one before, and then they recorded it when the game was announced with Leon. Here's the published interview. Uh, it was Grace is Resident Evil 2 remake. Leon is RE4 remake. That's what you're going to get from these
Like the
two play
gameplay
styles.
style.
Yes, correct. So basically, you're
Okay.
getting RE2 remake and RE4 remake in RE9. That's what you're going to get.
S- But that still doesn't relieve my problem of like having a split focus. Like when I'm playing a game, like okay, the big issue with The Last of Us 2, and I know a lot of people had random issues with Joel and stuff. My issue was you played half the game as one girl and then you play the other half as the bad guy. Now, the bad guy was the worst part of it. Is she Abby is bad, or at least you feel like she's bad in the first half, and then you play 10, 12, 15 hours as Abby, and it's like I was like I just want to get this over with and go back to Ellie's part or whatever her name is. I haven't played it in a while. So that was my problem with it.
Was it Abby? Was the other one?
Abby was the second, the bad guy who kills Joel, and
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
Ellie, I think, whatever her name
Yeah.
is the person you play as the first half, and it's just like it ruined the whole game for me. Like, yes, game mechanics were good. I actually even liked the story, but it ruined it because I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. You know, I just like I don't enjoy playing as two characters, especially one I don't like. Fortunately, I think we'll like both of them, but if I don't like Grace, like let's say like in some of the trailers, she kind of is like a bumbling goofy, you know, like she's like falling over and stuff. If you
Yeah.
hate her or she sucks, like it's like playing Ashley in the Resident Evil 4 remake. That's the worst part
Mm.
of the game, you know?
So I did review it, and after he said that, and you can see from that original Grace reveal how she stumbles is exactly how Claire stumbles from RE2. It seems like
Okay.
how the movement of Claire or even Leon from RE2 remake
Yeah.
is what you're exactly going to get from her.
Okay.
That seems to be the case.
Well, we won't make this
Now,
all about Resident Evil, but
yeah,
go on and I'll tell you my one other game I'm
okay.
excited about.
So I'm gonna finish this off
Okay.
with my final Resident Evil
Yeah.
comment. So first, here was the actual picture.
Okay.
This might make it more obvious. Like here, if you look upside down, Leon. If you kind of look upside down for there, this is what
So it's
specifically the
upside
image
down
was.
and backwards.
Yeah, correct. Like that's the Leon thing. That's what they were talking about specifically. My
Okay.
last thing, and I'm gonna let this go. He's infected. This right here is
Uh,
definitely black. Let me go here real quick.
they're not showing the right
Pause.
side of his face.
Yeah, that there is definitely
Huh.
something he has. And if it was, there's another picture in the promo art.
Yeah.
He's always facing the side like this,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's never this side where that black is.
Yeah.
He's infected in this game.
Infected with what
So
though?
I'm assuming whatever. I don't think it's
T
what's
virus?
the Los, yeah, it's not that because that's like air quotes extinct.
Yeah.
It might be Los Plagas. I doubt it. it's probably, I think it's whatever the infection that Elpis, the bad people, are doing that Gideon has made.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's that.
Hmm.
And then Grace, my theory at the end, Grace is not only going to be the person that Gideon wants for her cure that she has inside of her for her blood, that's also what's going to cure Leon at the end. That's my
Hmm.
guess.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep. So back to this when it comes to so RE9, that was definitely mine because it's also hyped. When you see him appear, it's cool. It's like, okay, finally we knew this was gonna happen. Plus he gets to chainsaw somebody himself. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
The
Um,
chainsaw.
yeah. But if it's not that, I did like the Divinity trailer
Yeah.
was gruesome. Oh my God. Between the guy, the Wicker Man birding, everybody online immediately thought the same thing I did, which was Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage. It's like,
Not the
ah!
bees.
Like, it was exactly that. Not the bees! Yep. It was that for sure. Between that, him burning alive, and
Yeah.
then it's like the Satan worship. There's everyone's having sex on there. It was awesome. I loved that. Same people made Baldur's Gate 3. So that's gonna be an awesome,
Yeah.
awesome intro. I can't wait for that one. It's supposed to
That
be the biggest game ever.
I mean, yeah, but then you get to the gameplay and I'm like, you know, like
I'm telling you, if you give Baldur's Gate 3 a shot, give it you have to give it more than an hour because you have to like kind of get what they're doing. It's so fun.
yeah,
Especially if you love the story.
we'll see. Well, for me, I'm pretty excited about Tomb Raider, and I think the
Ooh,
fact
okay.
that it's not just a remake. No, it's not a remaster. It's a remake, right, of the original.
Yep.
So
Atlantis is the remake one, right?
I don't know, but like it
Okay.
just seems like it's a well, I don't know what you call it, remake. Like they're taking the premise from the original and just making a whole game out of it from the bottom up, which is what I want because I think at least I am a little fatigued on remasters. Like The Last of Us, they remastered it for PS4, remastered it for the ultimate edition, and then remastered it for PS5. Like I don't want a remaster anymore. I know if Nick
You
was
know there's
here,
going to be a PS6 version.
oh yeah, if Nick was here, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I want to buy the Ultra Remaster Plus subscription," you know. But for me, I want like it to feel like brand new, you know, but the same thing. So I don't know, just watching some of that gameplay and like her doing the flips between the wheels and the flames. I don't know. Did you ever
Mhm.
play like the original games back in the day on like PlayStation 1? They're
I did.
they're really hard. And you
Yes.
know, they're really
They're
hard.
like kind of annoying. I went back to visit it once and
Oh,
like it was cool for nostalgia on my PS2 to go back to, but I was like, man, this is low key
I
annoying. It
wouldn't
was
want
like
to
so
play it
boxy.
today, you know? It's
Yeah. Oh, absolutely
yeah,
not.
like I went back on my Nintendo Switch subscription to play some of the Super Nintendo games. I'm like, first of all, these are hard. Second, I don't like them anymore. But that's what I feel like with Tomb Raider is it just looks cool, and just for me, Tomb Raider has been like they've made movies of it, and they're always okay. And they make the new games, but I just don't care. And this one, I don't know why. I felt like I cared.
No, that makes sense. I think so when my group was watching it, we had um the Atlantis reveal, like, oh my God, they're bringing back dinosaurs. It's crazy.
Yeah,
We're going back to the original. And they're like, then it was revealed what it was, like, oh my God, we're literally going back to the original.
yeah,
I was like, that's awesome, cool.
yeah,
I think what this does well, and you're right about this fatigue, is that there's nothing new happening. So you have the first part, which is okay, I don't mind, and it is a remake. I don't mind the remake because it does feel fresh. It's not just the same thing with a different coat of paint.
right, right.
It's just we've done it already. At least it'd be different if like The Last of Us had the PS5 launches and then you see The Last of Us Part 3.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
At least there's something. So I think Tomb Raider did a really good job of saying, yeah, this is a remake, but also here's a double reveal of the next installment.
right.
And I think that's fantastic. I think that was really well done.
Yeah,
Um, I, I mean, I can't. If we're gonna talk about the like, besides the announcements, the overall award ceremony, I can't believe. every single opportunity that E33 had to get an award, they got besides the player choice one. I've never heard of, I forgot what it was, Wutan Waters or something. It was like, I've never played it before, so I'm sorry I'm butchering
I'm
that.
pulling it up because I don't remember which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, for people that don't know, every single category, first of all, E33, Expedition 33 was nominated for the most awards of any game ever at a TGA.
Yeah.
So just nomination, they already broke a record. As far as winning them, they also obviously broke the record because every single category they were in, they won.
Right.
And I think it's like for the TGAs, the players get to put in, besides the player award thing that they did, but the players attribute to like 10% of the overall award category for the game of the year and the other
Mm.
pieces that are on there. So when you vote, you're not really doing that much. It's mostly like IGN, GameSpot. They all have their panel of people and they put their votes in, and that's like
Yeah.
the more weighted categories of everything. Uh, E33 took the house.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a close competition. I just saw Ghost of Yotai get it like I think almost besides like indie, almost every single category they had, they were right next to E33.
Yeah.
And they just did not get anything at all.
What do you think? Okay, let me baseball nerd out for a second. In baseball, you have to be a writer to vote for like MVP, Cy Young, all that, right? You have to be a writer, a baseball affiliated writer with some sort of news organization, right? Whether it's a
Yep.
local paper or a sports paper. Those are the people who decide who gets the Cy Young or the MVP, right? What do you feel about like IGN or whomever voting on this stuff and getting the majority of the vote?
I don't know. I feel like it's a common thing because like so first of all, I don't want to like clown on anybody that has a preference in games. If you like video game, you like a video game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a world where you have the TGAs and it's the flip effect where the players have like the 90% viewpoint of like who or weight of whatever the vote is. And then you have the journalists who have 10%. And every year it's an anime weeb game. Like you have like the big popular one this year was literally anime girls horse racing. That was like the big gotcha game that people were playing. And it was just anime girls and you boost their stats and they themselves are the horses in the horse race that blew up this year. And I don't think that's a better game than E33.
Yeah.
I think I think the weight could be different. I don't think it needs to be shifted mostly to the players, with all due respect.
Do you
Um
what okay, what is the weight? Do you know offhand?
I think it's like 90 and 10. I think that's how
90
much it is.
90
To the
us?
journalists.
Oh,
To the
90
journalists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we only attribute about 10% towards whatever category we vote for.
Hmm.
I just, I don't know. Trust me, I definitely understand. First of all, I understand how there's this sentiment against journalists and the video game space where there's a lot of them that feels like, oh, I'm just getting bought by Nintendo to play, to
Yeah.
give, Donkey Kong Bonanza a 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
and then give this great indie game a 5. Like, I get that. I understand how that's frustrating. But they aren't wrong about the TGAs so far, in my opinion. Like this year, I think it was spot on. I think this was an easy year for them to get. The
Okay.
closest one I could see is like The Last of Us Part 2. I haven't played it yet,
Yeah.
but I get what happens, and I kind of get people not liking that one.
Everyone
I get
hated
that.
that game except
Yes, I
journalists.
yes. Like that's I mean, you and I talk about movies all the time, so we get what we're talking about with
Right.
this, right? It's no different. It's just like they get kind of artsy with it. It's annoying. You're like, this movie was both not as artsy, but it was just as good, and it's more
Right.
watchable.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get when it comes to video game and video game journalists here. It's like they get it, but they're really artsy sometimes. Like Last of Us Part 2 was probably just really artsy and they liked that. That's all. That's all it was.
I mean, it
So,
wasn't artsy. Like it was just
no.
it was a game, but it was just like some people hated it because Joel died. Some people hated it like me because you play the bad guy for half the game. Anyways, I get it. Did you want I have that the poll from Jeff. Well, how do you say his name? Keeley.
Keeley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to go over is like people what people were thinking, like what people are saying. Can you see it?
I can.
Okay. So, thanks for watching the Game Awards. How would you grade this year's show? A 15%, B 24.6, C 21.4, and D or below 38.9. So, in my mind, 45% of the people gave it a B or C, which isn't too bad. It's really the dispersing of A and D, right? So
Yep.
here are some comments. First half was the best in ages. Second half fell off with a gotcha and 3 awards given in a rush in the same breath. Dorito guys,
But okay. Well, hang on. That the 3 awards in the same breath, that's a common thing with the TGAs because and this is probably a problem. Don't get me wrong. I think
Yeah.
this is fair, but like saying that was like almost an abnormality of everything is definitely not true. Like
Yeah.
that right there is common TGAs but that was before when they had cooler categories.
Sure.
Like they had like different soundtrack ideas. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was really cool. They don't really do that anymore. So I don't think the problem is that they're doing that. I just think they don't do it enough. And that's the problem. There's not more categories they can rattle off. Sorry, that was
No, I get it, but it's good to see what the sentiment is. And here's some more. As an E33 fan, validated. And I think that's the word I was looking for before is like as fans of games, we want to be validated. And and that's kind of what happened here. So we feel validated overall, and from an actual production guys, you guys killed it. I think some people grade the show based on the games that won, so not too bad. Thanks for watching the Expedition Awards. How would you grade this year's show? That's pretty funny. So I think overall, it's honestly not that like the sentiment isn't the worst, you know, but I think like getting 40% F is obviously bad, but you know,
yes,
they got 60 or so percent not an F or a D. So he should have put A, B, C, F.
Yeah. I feel like it was somewhere between a C, B, personally. Yeah. Like, it was just a little too long. I just want them to, like, I just wanted it to be more, this sounds weird to say, like, I just wanted it to be more about video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, it was kind of cool to see Evanescence again, but I kind of zoned out. I think I literally just went and took a shower while that was happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just, at least the orchestra, the first time they do it with the orchestra of E33, they brought out the guy with the guitar and they had like the orchestra in the back and the flowers that came down for it.
Yeah.
That makes sense because that's a video game music, right? In the game everyone knew was going to win Game of the Year, right? And that's by the way, that music right there is a boss fight. That's how cool that is. It's so hype when you win a boss fight and then it happens. But that is really cool. That's the weird thing with Evanescence, though. It's like, yeah, we all know Evanescence. Like, we're millennials. Like, we get that. But the orchestra from the video game makes sense. I didn't really care about Evanescence. That could have been some cool new, like did you ever watch G4 back in the day? Tech TV?
I remember it, and then I remember the new one that, like, killed itself.
Yeah. So like X-Play, G4, Attack of the Show. I was gonna say Attack on Titan. Attack of the Show. Like they had cooler categories back in the day where like individually, like we didn't have a best racing game this year as a category.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's weird. Like we have racing games. What was the best puzzle game of the year? So I'm not saying you need to go. I
can't even name a racing game this year, though. If I'm being honest. Can you?
Yeah, me neither. But that's besides the point. I'm sure there is some. Sonic had one. Mario Kart. What are we talking about? Mario Kart.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I totally forgot.
Yeah, that one like best family game. I think it was.
Didn't Donkey Kong win best family game?
Oh, it did. Maybe they did have racing, but regardless, that's not my point.
Yeah,
it's a lot of the littler things they could have done were like, okay, I know they didn't have like best roguelike. And that
Uh-huh.
could have been one where those moments are really cool.
Yeah.
And I just felt like those kind of things would have been a lot cooler, even if
Sure.
they did those rattle off smaller categories thing, would have played better than Evanescence in that
So
instance, you know?
this is another gripe that I have. Do you remember, I think it was 2020, the Game Awards, where Christopher Nolan gave out the Game of the Year award? Like he was the announcer. Uh, okay, okay, how do I put this? Christopher Nolan doesn't play video games. I'm sorry. He
Yep.
probably had no idea what he was talking about, you know? He probably doesn't even know there's a Nintendo Switch that exists. You know, Christopher
Let
Nolan's
alone the
on
two.
record. He doesn't have a smartphone. He barely uses his phone. If it is, it's a flip phone. He doesn't play video games. He doesn't do social media. So, and this goes along with the Evanescence thing. Like, first of all, Evanescence, like, it's 2025. Anyways, but also
I agree.
they probably don't care. Who knows? Maybe one of them or all of them are gamers, but it's like stop putting people who have nothing to do with video games. Like you can always tell when they bring like a celebrity or someone who loves video games, you can tell. You know, like bring in Henry
Yes.
Cavill who loves video games and nerd out, it would be awesome. Or you can bring
Yep.
in Christopher Nolan, whose movies I love, but probably hasn't played a video game in 40 years, you know?
Because who's the guy from Stranger Things that was there? I forget his name. He did the Warhammer reveal for 40K.
I don't
Total
remember.
War 40K. He's the sheriff, the main, the
Oh, what's his
David
name?
something.
David Harbour.
Harbert, yeah. So he went on there because he is a gamer, and
Yeah,
that was cool for him to do Total War because he specifically plays Warhammer. So it's
right.
the same. Like you're right. That felt. I think the word you're looking for is it feels authentic.
Yeah.
You know, because I could also isn't what's the zombie? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. There's also a zombie game that a famous person is doing. Uh, um uh oh my God, I'm gonna hate myself for this. It's just the same thing. It's like directed by horror movie director, and it's like, okay, like
Yeah.
what is he? I don't I'm sure he's played a video game, but I play video games a lot,
Yeah.
right? But that doesn't mean I should go and make one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean Dylan is like that's the standout, or I should go host, you know? But anyway, I just yes, I wish it was more authentic. I feel like it, and while you were doing that, I was looking up the categories that did go for it, and they did have a racing game, but it's also tied into sports game.
Oh,
It's like they didn't have enough, so that's why I was confused. They did have family game, RPG, action, mobile. I think those are fine categories, but there's not many categories
yeah.
in general. There's also like I give best esports game and team because those are video game players as the athletes of it. Cool. Um, but these categories are just not enough. I just wish
Right.
there was more. I'm not so once again, like I don't think they need to go down there, but there wasn't like best roguelike because Hades 2 would have won that. There's a game on PSN, I think it's from this year, or sorry, this month in December, The Essentials called Neon White. I
Yeah.
picked that up randomly just to like see how it was. I love that game. That game's cool. It's like complete this level as fast as you can and find all the hidden treasures. That is fun. I
So
just like
if
why isn't that category in there?
okay, I guess this is like if there's too okay, here there's I think there's like a balance. If there's too many like different categories, then you really have to be all in on video games, and that's a very niche. Like even you and I are out of that niche, you know? Like and we have a podcast on it. And you more than me play video games, but at the same time like if you have like every single category categorized, I feel like there's going to be some people who are like, "Huh, you know? Like I don't know about that one." Like you have to be on the in the in. And maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think like the categories are fine. It's just like the presentation of them and like that's where maybe like the voting comes into play. It's like it's kind of arbitrary because what are these writers going to say? And the more niche it gets, the less people are going to vote on it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yep, you're right. I get it. I just feel if you're already sending in for like these categories, I agree. I think they could add maybe 20% more of the show to these video games
mhm.
and like 20% less. I'm not saying Miss Piggy was necessarily a problem, but less Muppets, you know? And I include Evanescence and Muppets.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like I think I agree. It's sort of like you just tweak it. Like you go one direction or the other a little bit more or less, and that's what I'm looking for,
What
you
about
know?
this? Okay. How, let's say this is my plan. I think that it was what, 3.5 hours long?
Yes.
We cut off, maybe this is too much, an hour and a half. It's 2 hours long. So no Evanescence, no Miss Piggy, and then you prioritize new games, like games, new announcements. So in this case, Resident Evil isn't prioritized. It's still part of it, but you prioritize new games, obviously the awards, and then addition like big groundbreaking stuff like the Resident Evil stuff. And it's 2 hours long. And then you get rid of a lot of the fluff that's unnecessary where we feel it's disingenuous.
I feel like you can even I'm hung up on the Muppets here, but I feel like you can even make it to where you can do both, where you have Miss Piggy do the awards up
Okay,
there instead of Jeff. And
fine.
like you have Miss Piggy like she's up there as Raccoon City Survivor Piggy, you know? And then like
Okay.
she's like we got a great game like we just saw Resident Evil, here's the award for best horror game of the year. Why wasn't that a category?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You
Yeah,
know what I
that
mean?
yeah.
So that's like as you start thinking about it more and more, there's just more opportunities for it.
Sure.
I think I just think the fluff is just adding extra stuff to things they can use it for that's already right in front of you and to
Mhm.
trim down time.
Yeah.
That's all. Because
All
I don't
right.
think anyone's like complaining like Mephisto was bad for Diablo 4.
Sure.
He might not like Diablo 4 justified, but it doesn't mean like that intro wasn't cool as hell.
Right. No,
That Mephisto thing was
it
sick.
definitely was, but that one counts because it has to do with games. It's people that
Yep.
like games that like have to do with it. That counts where Evanescence doesn't count. It has nothing to
Yep.
do with anything. You know?
I agree.
All
I
right.
agree completely.
We fixed it. Listen up,
We fixed the problem.
Jeff,
It's all over.
Keeley. We got the problem. We got the answers to your problems.
So yeah, just my like overall, like I don't think it deserves a D because when watching it live with a bunch of friends, it was fun.
Okay.
I enjoyed my time.
Fair.
So that automatically does not make it a D. I think it's at least a C at that point. Um, is it enjoyable to rewatch it? No. So that's why I think it's a C for me. It's not, I'm not like completely disagreeing with people. I just don't think it was this monstrosity. I don't think it was this big show up of what's going on. Production value is great, but God, 3.5 hours. I literally checked out through some of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 3.5 hours forces it to be a niche because most people don't like 3.5 hours is all the time we have after sleep, food, and work. We have about 3.5 hours. So you essentially say the rest of one whole day is going to be this.
Yep.
That means I don't really get to play video games that day. I only get to watch a presentation about video games?
Yep. Absolutely. You're right.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well, we fixed it. All right.
All done. Wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Wrap it up.
Cool. Well, I guess that's all we got, right?
That's it. Over TGAs. That's it.
All right. TGA's 2025. What do you think's gonna. Ooh, let's do this. Out of the games that you know, what do you think's gonna be either the winner or one of the biggest games of next year?
Oh, GTA 6.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
You
It
think
also
so?
won most anticipated game,
It's
which is
def.
a cool, unique category that I like.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna play that game. Is the thing? Not because
All I'm
I'm
saying is,
against it. I just don't know if I'll get to it. There's so much coming out.
I just, man, like, what was it? What's the PlayStation game, Saros or Saros? Like it's like the roguelike shooter that was made from the Returnal studio. They pushed theirs back to April from March because you're right. There's such a heavy
Yeah.
overload in March that they moved it back a month just to give people time.
Right. Yeah.
And that's just the first quarter here. Like we have, if GTA 6 does not get pushed back
I
again,
was gonna say it
um,
could get pushed back. It might not come out next year.
yeah, that game is it does feel too big to fail at this point, you know. But I mean, the question is, are people going to pay a higher price tag for that game? I think the answer is yes.
No, the
People,
answer is yes.
that's what I
They will.
said. Oh,
No,
you're just saying it is.
I'm
No,
not
don't
saying
think.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's yes. It's yes. And people aren't going to be like, oh, I got it's $10 extra. I'm not going to play it. Like, no, they'll play it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if it's like $100 a pop for the base game, that's a maybe for
Okay.
peeps.
That one,
Yeah,
if it's
but
that expensive, I agree. It'll be,
yeah,
that's too much.
if it's like $80 as opposed to the 70, then yeah, I
I
agree.
really
It
think
probably will
that's what
be.
it's going to end up being is 80. And I think, fine, whatever. They're going to sell a billion of these, so it doesn't really matter, you know?
Yeah, I think there's literally no difference right now in $10 for that game. Now, if you tried like Astrobot 2, which is technically 3 because of Playroom, at $80, you're high,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like that's
agree.
no go.
I agree.
I don't feel like we're entering a world of guaranteed like price hike in games. I think we're seeing now once GTA hits, and you saw it with some Nintendo Switch games, right? I think you're starting to see more video game price fluctuation
Yeah,
is what's going to happen for 26,
yeah,
where you're going to see some 80s, you'll see 50s, sometimes 40s, like I think Expedition was 40.
yeah,
No, I think it was 50. Regardless, you'll see that fluctuation here more and more now.
yeah.
I think so. Which
All
is
right.
good because like you get game of the year for $50 instead of 70, which is great.
Well, join in next year for the GTA 6 Game Awards, so we'll see you then.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah.
Any category it's in, it's going to be GTA. That's it.
All right, adios.